Welcome back. They love you. We love you.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Come on, bud. Thanks for coming back on the show. We always love when you're here. We just had Mick Jagger out here.
I saw.
Yeah, it's fun. Are you a big Rolling Stones fan?
When he had a concert I was in grade 8 living in Seattle. I wasn't allowed to go because I was at parochial school, but rock and roll was scary and bad.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I almost met him.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you walked out. It counts. That counts as a concert, yeah. Last time you were on the show, by the way, you're always a great guest, and we love having you on here. You did a sketch with us where you played Gilvin of the Tree.
Yes.
And I was Goatleg Greg, and here's Brendan in the. You were in a nest.
Yes.
You were in a bird's nest, and you would play the flute or the lute.
It was the lute, right? Yes.
I think it was the lute. Yeah, and you had these great teeth in there, and I just remember them. They didn't really fit right. They kept falling out. And it was, gosh, you just ran with it like a pro, and I really appreciate that.
Actually, I think I swallowed them.
Yeah, I think you might have. Yeah, we need them back. Yeah, they're expensive. But here's what I love about this. 10 days after this sketch, you won an Oscar. Come on, bud. That's 10 days after. That's why we love you. That's why we love you.
Dignity.
Dignity.
Always dignity.
Always, yeah. Everyone was so excited when you won. What's going through your mind when you heard your name?
I was astonished. I didn't know what to expect. I know me and all the other guys were just waiting for them to just say anyone's name. It was like a piano wire of tension, And
Does it feel like a long time?
You're on a gauntlet doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Press tour, that kind of thing.
And do you remember what you said? I know you thanked.
I know that I got to thank everyone I did. I had a fancy speech in my pocket. I forgot everything, and I guess I made it backstage, and I kind of got lost. And it's funny. I know you're surrounded by people, but they said no, you go from stage left to stage right, and I was going behind the scrim, and suddenly there were no people there, and I'm looking at this cold, naked man holding a sword.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy Kimmel comes walking by. He's going, "Hey, you did great." And I'm like, "What just happened?" And he kind of just went,
"Yeah,
you're up." And he kept going. I made it out after we did a bunch of press, and then the streets were all locked down around Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
When you do the Oscars, and it's funny, all this glitz and glam, and then behind the Kodak Theater, we were looking for the golf cart or some sort of vehicle to get us wherever we're supposed to go next. And the streets are all locked down. There are people behind wire fences, and they're all like, "Brandon!" I'm like, "This is my Oscar." And then I started recognizing the streets. Like, I was like, "Oh, wow. I think that's the alleyway that I once shot a video with Tone Loc for the movie Encino Man."
Wow.
I'm serious. And
did you think it was like a "This Is Your Life" moment?
Well, he contributed to this song. It was called, I think it was Cool Hand Loc. Went on the soundtrack.
Wow.
And for the life of me, I've been AI, Google, all this stuff. I can't find this video.
Cool Hand Loc.
Cool Hand Loc. I was drag racing with Tone Loc.
Wow.
In an alleyway.
And it was that.
And I beat him too, and he had the fancy car, and he kept getting mad at me because I had like the souped up looking red convertible with the power shifting buttons in the front.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a very altered experience.
Yeah, that sounds surreal to me. Yeah, to be holding an Oscar.
That's what happened, blow by blow.
But I mean, man, you were great in The Whale, and you had Sadie Sink was your daughter in the film, and she's fantastic as well.
She's fantastic.
We love.
And right now, she is playing the part she was born to. And it was written by William Shakespeare. She's on the West End
that's right.
Right now as Juliet.
That's right. She's doing Romeo and Juliet. Good for Sadie. We love you. Well, there's some pretty big news that's kind of breaking the internet regarding you. People are saying that you're getting another Mummy film back together. Is this true, or are you doing another? You are doing it. What do we know about it so far? Is there anything you're allowed to tell? Or
well, we're going to get the band back together.
Yes.
The only way to do it, right?
Yeah, of course.
So we're going to give the audience what they have been bothering all of us for the last 20 whatever years.
Did you ever think they were going to do this? Or
I was hopeful for a long while, and then I was like, no, I don't know if they are. Other Mummy movies got made, but anyway, look, what we're gonna do is saddle back up, go back to the locations. I should probably stop talking like this.
Okay, all right, okay, yeah.
Away. However, I know that, please wish me luck. I'm doing my best to get this 57-year-old gear in shape.
Oh my God, you're gonna be. You know how to do it, buddy. You know how to do it. I cannot wait. I heard that to get you in character for the role, that Universal took you to your ride. You have a ride, the Mummy ride at Universal Studios. Here you are, and look at that.
Can you spot me?
There you are there.
This is right as the guy goes, "Don't wear your hat, it'll get blown off."
Yeah. It's one of the best rides, by the way. Every time I go to Universal, I make sure to go on this ride. I always take my kids on it too. I go, this is the best ride because there's a surprise in the ride. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I have a ride as well.
You do?
Yeah.
And I haven't been on it yet. I'd like to, perhaps.
You haven't been on it yet?
I have not been on it.
Well, you have to go on it.
I know I do.
It's the most fun. You're gonna really love it.
I'll be there.
Yeah, you
Count
can,
on it.
You can wear your hat on my ride. But I just love that. I just love that you went on this. It's one of the best rides ever. This is Crusher. Already, it's happening. The Mummy is coming back. I cannot wait to see it. But we're here to talk about your new film called Pressure. In this film, you play Dwight D. Eisenhower during World War II. It's a true story about a huge part of the war, and it came down to one guy. The weatherman.
I didn't know that the premise of this movie was that in 1944, on Monday, June 5th, that was D-Day originally, and inbound weather was awful. Troops would not have been able to land safely if they were not already under peril, which clearly they were. Yeah. But for a boulder in the stream type of performance from Andrew Scott, let me tell you, he played a meteorologist who came forward and told the Joint Chiefs of Staff that weekend before that they needed to delay, or else there would have been absolute disaster. And so this is the weekend before D-Day, and all of the conversations that take place. Now, we all know that D-Day was Tuesday, June 6, 1944. And that was because they had delayed for about 14 hours, 16 hours, to land in Operation Overlord in Normandy with 130,000 troops. And they did so safely by taking advantage of a gap in the weather.
Really?
Yeah, of some, I don't know, like 12 or 14 hours. And that's when those troops went. Otherwise, they would have had to wait until the 18th, when the moon had changed cycles, the tides would have risen differently. And clearly, the enemy would have known they were on their way, but as it turns out, the enemy thought they'd be crazy to attack in weather like this. But Eisenhower said, we're going on the advice of this meteorologist. And when he was asked about it 20 years later in an interview, remembering D-Day by Walter Cronkite on the beaches, he asked, how did you do it? And like Eisenhower said, well, we just had better weathermen than the Germans did.
Wow. Did you ever think that you would play Eisenhower?
No, I didn't. When Anthony Maras, our director, contacted me, I was like, I didn't know anything about this. Yeah. History hadn't really taught me that. And I was like, me? Really? I don't really look like Eisenhower. I mean, I can, yeah, which is a lot of fun. But he sent me a photo with myself alongside Dwight Eisenhower, and I went, oh, okay.
I can see it. This is you next to a picture of... Not bad. That's fantastic. Doesn't even look like you. It's amazing. I want to show everyone a clip. Here's Brendan Fraser in Pressure. Take a look.
Even I can see that Crick's anti-cyclone is on the move because it's right here on the goddamn map. Now, our final meeting is at 0400 hours, and that will be the absolute last opportunity to change anything. So, unless you can prove these storms are inbound, we invade as planned. Monday, June 5th, 0630 hours.
Yes, sir.
3 hours, gentlemen.
Come on. Brendan Fraser, Pressure is in theaters May 29th. We'll be right back, everybody.